Hello, fam. It's a Bluenami. Oh boy, we had so much fun with the elections. It was
A
so
whole
nice.
blue world.
A whole blue world, a whole exciting democratic view.
Right.
So there were so many things that happened. I was actually um, watching. I happily voted on Tuesday, and then I had to hop on a plane. So by the time I landed, everything was still, back east. Things were still going, and it wasn't sure. And I was kept refreshing. I was in my Lyft, and I had a black driver in my Lyft, and I said, Spanberger won. And it was like, what about Jersey? What about Jersey? I think the things are still so. As everything kind of clicked into place, it was beyond my wildest dreams. And then when
But
Mamdani,
before we continue on,
yeah,
Lily, you're about to not take a breath. Before we continue on, I want to make a point of saying um, we have a very rare occurrence where not only was CJ first in the room today, but Marie J was right after her, and Anthony was coming in on time, 1 minute before showtime still. But third is
no, but
bronzing it out tonight, which is interesting. But since we always talk about how Anthony's always first, we got to acknowledge that CJ and Mary J was up in the building. Now, Bam is over here
except
with 2 comments.
except that Anthony was actually first with this one before CJ.
No, he wasn't.
This is the first thing in the comments.
This is not the first thing in the comments. CJ is in here at 7:21 because they were in here before we started.
So
Mary
was
J is
Anthony.
at 7:32.
Anthony has 3 posts in comments. His first
Okay.
one was at 11:19.
11:19 is not showing up for me. He came back.
Oh, it may be because I was in the session
Mm-hmm.
when he posted it.
11:19 a.m.
Well, I posted the thing early today.
Lord.
So
Okay. Well, I still kudos to CJ and Mary J. Like I really was like, yeah, they doing it. And yeah, see, and he's like, yeah, I did come in here before the sun was all the way up.
yeah, no. Listen, one thing about Anthony, ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you about Anthony is that that's the advantage of being a subscriber with notifications. Because the
Yes.
only reason Anthony is able to hop in is that he hits that alarm bell, and as soon as he gets the notification from YouTube, he clicks on it and he puts a comment in. So if you want to be in the Anthony Turner sweepstakes, you can go on ahead and hit that notification bell after you subscribe, because that way, see,
CJ's, yeah. That's the wild thing is he needs the job.
This is why we love the Sharpies, because this is real community. This is real community. So I kind of had like a word vomit of excitement. So Joy, I'm going to give you your time to comment on election day and set us up for the rest of the show.
So I was actually traveling, doing, trying to get paid, doing my job on Tuesday. So I voted early, and Tuesday evening, like the workshop I was doing ran long. I was in my little crappy hotel, eating crappy Grubhub or whatever. And incidentally, Elkhart, Indiana is a shithole town full of extremely nice and welcoming people. The people are great. Don't go there though. But anyway, I started getting text messages, like you said, the blow up, the did you see? The first thing I went to check to see if my boo Andre had won re-election. The mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, won again by a landslide, proverbially speaking, because it was a very mixed field. A few people, tried to jump up and got beat down. He received more than half of the vote with, I think, 5 people on the ballot. So we said Dre, and we said it again, Dre Day, all day in the A. So that was great. And then I started getting people talking about, did you hear, like, as they were texting me, the New York results were coming in. And they're like, ooh, it's looking like Mamdani gonna take it. Somebody even text me, you can't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah, right.
hmm And then I started paying attention to Virginia, Kentucky coming out of nowhere, trying to vote in other people's elections. What the fuck? I mean, what's really happening?
Now, that was funny because I hadn't heard that story until I was watching one of my favorite pages on
Mhm,
YouTube. And in case you hadn't heard this, Sharpies,
mhm,
the Secretary of State for Kentucky was fielding thousands of phone calls about how there were no polling places open for
mhm.
them to vote in the New York mayoral election. And
Now,
he had to tell people, we ain't got no elections. You guys vote
mhm.
next year. So,
Now I want to make it clear. Some people are trying to frame that as MAGA is so stupid they try to vote another election. It was both sides. It was Democrat and Republican wondering why there were no polls open in Kentucky. It's a statewide problem.
okay.
Just so
Well,
you know. Mhm.
in for a penny, in for a clown. Um, that doesn't make me feel bad. Kentucky is the state of my father's birth, so I can't say I'm
Mhm.
surprised, but
Mhm.
it's fine if you're equal
Right.
opportunity. At least there were some people who wanted to help him. He didn't need your help,
He did not need your help.
and
He
I
hasn't.
saw he has not, and it really is Van Jones' goofy self tried to say that he felt the uh, Mamdani's speech uh, didn't strike a conciliatory tone. And my whole thing is why? Why does he need to be conciliatory at all?
See, now that right there is why the Dems stay on the losing end. Because one of the other things that we talk about, like with the cult personality that Trump has garnered, et cetera, but they don't pull punches. They fight below the belt quite often, but it is a
Yep.
whole lot of come at me, bro energy, right? And then on the other side, you have this, oh well, as long as we're all still eating at the same table at the end and we're all friends and we should do the right thing. And oh gosh, golly, that feeble, that timidness, that ain't what
No.
America is about anymore.
Nope.
And like your boys say, Van Jones need to sit and hush. But this desire to be conciliatory with violence towards the American people, how do you reconcile with that? How do you
Mm-mm.
say everything is okay? That's the mistake that the party that was more liberal at the time, which was a Republican Party, that's the mistake the Republican Party made after the Civil War, was saying everything is fine, it's okay, just come on home. Don't
Nope.
don't be conciliatory with people that actively seek the maiming, murder, mayhem, death of people around you.
Nope.
What's the phrase was like, we can agree to disagree, yes, on popcorn, on movies, but not on human rights. And I'm not going to try to reconcile with someone that wants to take away human rights from anyone.
Nope.
So
Can't
no,
do it.
he don't have to be like, you ran a good race and blah blah blah. He can be like, yeah, suck it, Como, I'm in here, like whatever you want to do. I love the energy that I'm seeing from Tennessee with the Tennessee Three that are like out here carrying receipts and giving 0 Fs. We
Yep.
need a 0 Fs party of liberals. Yeah.
Yep. Take it all. Take it to the mat. Take it to the
Mhm.
limit. Take it wherever you need to take it,
Right.
because that's the vibe and energy we
Mhm.
need to have. So let's get into it a little bit with the with our things. Now, uh I would like to start because one of the things
Anthony,
that
I,
uh
I pledged Delta in Jackson, Tennessee. I didn't know you
oh,
was
there
from
you
there.
go. One of the things that little Mike Johnson, tried to come out and say is that, well, it was blue cities, blue states voting blue. Big
No,
shot.
it wasn't.
Um, except there was this.
There are also deep, deep red counties in Georgia that, but we got a blue district something somethings city blue commissioners. I forgot what it was called. For the first time since the 70s
Right.
or the 90s,
Uh,
20 years, whenever that was.
we got a black woman mayor of Detroit, first
Mhm.
ever in history, and this is in a swing state that Trump won.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a blue state, or because you're out there, Steve Scalise talking about we got all the swing states. Okay, well, there's that. But let's take a look. This woman flipped a Mississippi Senate seat.
Come on, Shirley Franklin.
One of the two people who helped to break their supermajority.
Mm.
So there's no more supermajority in the Senate. This brother, Justin Crosby, flipped a House seat, ousting the Republican incumbent. And this brother also flipped a second Senate seat in Mississippi. Now, these are state offices, but the point is, and of course, it's an off-year election, whatever. At the end of the day, these seats were flipped in Mississippi.
Now, that is something, I'm going to look this up to make sure I understand what I'm saying. Percent Black people in, no, not Mississippi State University.
Yeah, no, in the state of Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi is the closest, I think, of being a majority minority Black state that we may have.
It is. According to 2025, September 2025, Office of Minority Health, Mississippi has the highest percentage of people who identify as Black or African American at 35.8% based on the 2024 census. So that's 1 out of 3. That's a little bit more than 1 out of 3. And what you're seeing here, not only are you seeing people flip to vote Democrat or to oust Republicans, however you want to look at it, there's a lot of Black people in Mississippi. There always have been. And I believe they are rising to exercise the power that they have felt they didn't have access to over the years. Sometimes anger, desperation, whatever you want, whatever is bringing them out, brought them out. And a little bit of bump push from allies, from liberals, from other people, maybe even some other rural, poor white people who are like, you know what, this ain't working. And so I'm gonna vote for not this. And that's how you get these flips.
And, Trump Trump wasn't on the ballot. Trump was absolutely on the ballot. They were voting against you. You're throwing your Gatsby parties. You're doing all of these things while you're saying people aren't going to get their SNAP benefits. Well, the SNAP, that's mostly for the Democrats, except it's not.
It's specifically not for the, well, it is not for the Democrats at all. No. SNAP mostly goes to red states.
And here's the thing. People are talking about, abuse and the blah, blah, blah. So you've got disabled people, elderly people, and children. Those 3 blocks represent the majority of people who are benefiting from SNAP.
Right.
Most of the people who receive SNAP benefits are employed. We are subsidizing Walmart because they don't pay their employees. And because they don't pay their employees, they have to get benefits. If Walmart were paying a living wage.
Oh, God. Hey, Shan.
And listen, crazy. I saw her setting it off with some AKAs after she won.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Just a little video of her going around where she's doing the whole thing. So listen, I'm not at all surprised. That sort of Black girl joy celebrating. It's about time Detroit had some Black female representation, just for the sake of the wig shops alone. It should have been an indicator.
Man, that there was some percolator dances this weekend gonna be lit.
Oh, litty. Absolutely litty. Yep. People are going to be going all the way off. So Mississippi certainly is not a blue state. It's a state that Trump overwhelmingly won. So you can't really use that excuse. But possibly the big story, certainly the biggest and most exciting story for progressives and young progressives and people who were looking for a change. I titled this segment, Let's Effing Zoe. And this dude right here, if Lin-Manuel Miranda is not writing a musical, first
starring himself,
Lin could play Zoe Mamdani straight up. And, I just want to be in the room where it happens because
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be some New York-ish that
It's
is
gonna be
going
so
to
good. It's gonna be
slap.
Hamilton meets Washington Heights.
It is going to slap.
And he's given so many sound bites that you could easily turn into a freestyle 18 bar, 8-bar rap.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, if somebody hasn't used Suno, which is the little make a music song app,
Mm.
to do a Mamdani, victory chant or whatever, go on ahead, Sharpies, those of you who are
Hey,
tech
Phil.
savvy and have a Suno subscription,
Mhm.
go ahead and make it happen.
And this is a good point. 30% or
Exactly.
more of active duty military receive SNAP and WIC support. And that is also cut off from the very people that they scream about loving and supporting and protect the troops and blah, 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 until they need something from you. Then it's, you should have done better with your life. You got what you deserve. You signed up for this. But my children didn't. I thought I was signing up for a steady paycheck and a chance to see the world, maybe, and fight for my country. And now you're telling me you won't feed my kids because y'all having some petty squabble because you don't want to release the pedophile files? Is that what we're doing?
This
Really?
is just in case anybody wasn't keeping score, and I'm sure, we have a very informed viewership, so I appreciate it. But this is the longest shutdown ever, which seems crazy to me. It didn't occur to me because, right now it's just it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen. But it just keeps going. And to me, other than the fact that they're going to start cutting flights, and that probably affects you more than it affects me, Joy. I was glad I was able to get back on my little flight this week,
Yeah.
yesterday. But you use that for work. They're talking about a 10% reduction. And what they were saying as we head into Thanksgiving, we are 20 days from Thanksgiving. Every day that
Wait.
we don't resolve this, or that
Mm-hmm.
the the airlines and the
Every day that
traffic
this
controllers,
continues on. Yeah.
it's like 110,000 seats across all the
Mm-hmm.
airlines at these 40 major airports. And so if you've got to cut those seats, you're cutting flights. If you're cutting flights, you're cutting availability, you're cutting times, and da 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 da. And so it's going to be crazy. My sister is flying out of town from Detroit for Thanksgiving. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot going on that this shutdown, and Lord help us if we stretch into Thanksgiving. They need to get this
Mm-hmm.
resolved. And the only way they're going to get it resolved, because the Democrats have the wind at their backs right now. They're like, see, we've had
Mm-hmm.
all these King's Day protests. You're going to have another King's Day protest if you all don't get this sorted. And guess what? You are
Mm-hmm.
prepping yourselves to lose. And they know it. They can
Yeah.
stand behind their little microphones all they want. Mike Johnson is almost unflappable until somebody catches him flat out, and he just has to blink his eyes and just take it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
No. But this is really sad. Marie J is saying that she's talking to Phil. I love that our sharpies are talking to each other, but the Department of Defense is encouraging soldiers in Germany to seek out food pantries for help. Can you imagine being a member of the United States military, the greatest military in the world, and having to go, please, sir, some more at a German food pantry? That is for Germans because you're a visitor there and your own country
while
won't pay you.
we are building a Qatari base on
Mm-hmm.
one, or a Qatari installation, and at or near one of our bases. You got to put
Mm-hmm.
up Bob's
I am.
you,
I
you
was
got to
trying
put
to
up
lean into
Bob's
that
photo.
after we finished
Yeah,
this speech.
after
Yeah,
we do this.
78% of
So
people on welfare are white. We've been knew that. Yeah, but to change the subject just a little bit, the real news is that the Republicans are losing control of their bodily functions because of the new details about how bad the Epstein files really are for the clown. Now, I told y'all before, he's got to be actively doing something illegal in these files, and it's on tape. And you know how they like to, they being a very large descriptor for pedophiles with a lot of money and a lot of power, that they like to record themselves doing things so they can watch it back later, right? Or brag to their friends. Think about how many people, just in general, whether they're rich or not, get caught with child pornography that they star in on their phone, in their VCR, whatever. It is something out there
did
that's
you see
got
the
him doing
movie?
something terrible. So what?
Sharpies, drop a comment in the chat if you remember the Nicolas Cage film 8mm. It's not, I don't think there's any snuff in the Epstein files,
Mm-hmm.
but even if it's just the pictures of those half naked preteen, teen, young teen girls sitting on Trump's lap, one of those pictures would be enough.
Yeah.
One of those pictures. And if there were 3 or 4 girls in that room, and
Mm-hmm.
there are pictures with bunches of them, that's one of the things that I remember about that film in particular, because uh just to bring everybody up to speed if you haven't seen it, Nicolas Cage is hired to seek out this film.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a private investigator type of dude, and so he doesn't really know what he's getting into. But there's a point in the film where he finally has it, and he has to watch it. He has to know what he's been chasing or whatever. And they don't show the film, obviously. It's a shot of Nicolas Cage's face. And to his credit, he does an incredible job as an actor of communicating in his response how horrible whatever it is that he's looking at is. And that chilled me, because my dad's used to shoot 8mm films. There are 8mm films of us like at Disneyland or something, and clickety clickety clickety, it's all
Mm-hmm.
faded and washed out and everything, and you get the weird things, and if you left it on the one frame too long, it would melt the film and it would look all crazy. I don't know. I don't know, Bob, and this
So
is why. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Finish your
MAGA
point.
won't. They won't want us to care. They're going to try to downplay it. But this is going to be a sticking point and a tipping point. Some of them are going to desert. Some of them, especially the ones that roll with the idea of they're MAGA because they're hardcore Christians. So you hardcore Christian with this dude who's got a girl sitting on his unbuckled lap. You cool with that? Whatever it might be. And I'm guessing. God, I haven't seen anything, but whatever it might be, if it's that bad, some of them Christian folks, and even if they are whack Christians, they are not going to be able to truck with this one.
There's and I agree on that principle, but also MAGA is nothing if not bound up in their core philosophy. One of their core philosophies was the Democrats have the Pizza Gate, and they're
They're the
drinking the blood of
pedophiles. Yeah.
babies and all this other sort of stuff. It's a core part. Now, what you don't hear about as much anymore is Q. You don't hear about QAnon.
You sure don't. They used to be all over the place.
All over the place. But you're absolutely right, Bob. Marjorie Taylor Greene will absolutely abandon his ass, and she will ignore his advice, and she will run for Senate.
And she will run her mouth.
She will run her mouth. There are too many. If you are a woman in the GOP right now, and when those Epstein files, Bondi, the press secretary, Janine Pirro, all of the women on they will have to give Jessica Tarlov her own show on Fox, because the 5 are going to disappear. It'll be the Uno, and she's just going to sit all day for a month talking trash about the Epstein files. This is big, and everybody knows how big it is, because at one point I thought, you know what, maybe they're milking this, and what's going to happen is that they're going to release the files and there won't be anything in there. First of all, you can't knock down a conspiracy theory by not having the evidence. That doesn't work.
This is what's been happening in Georgia as well.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
AOC. Yeah, he didn't want her to run for Senate. He told her no, and she felt a type of way. So now, if you're not supporting me, and I've been supporting you all this time, then what am I doing? And not to mention this insurance nonsense has affected her family as well.
Well, and I will say this: I saw the AOC reel or whatever it is. Not for nothing, AOC is gorgeous. I'm just going to put it out there. She had no makeup on, leaning into the thing, and she was just like sitting on her couch like, let me tell you something about MTJ. And I was like, tell me anything. Say it. Just whatever, girl. I got you. Because, man, She is amazing. Not to mention the fact that she's such an incredible legislator and such an incredible, brilliant person with multiple degrees who was working as a bartender before she got in this and is still rocking and completely killing everything that she does.
Mm-hmm.
She's also an
How would you
amazing.
feel about a Newsom Cortez ticket or
Well,
Newsom Ocasio Cortez?
first, let me say Newsom has secured his spot for
Yes.
2028. There is
Yes.
nobody.
And he didn't even beat around the bush. He didn't try to play cute. He's like, oh, I'm definitely running. Yeah.
No,
I'm in there.
There's nobody. He's a man and he's white and he trolls Trump harder than anybody on the planet. That's all the Democrats ever wanted. They wanted somebody. Hillary was not it. Hillary didn't know how to throw an insult punch. Newsom out Trumps Trump on everything. And that means JD Vance wouldn't have a chance. JD Vance is good when somebody has their hand up his puppet hole and is moving his mouth, but he depends on the shelter of Trump. He does not have the Riz. He does not have MAGA behind him. And if it ends up being Newsom Vance, and I'm not even sure it's going to be.
Nobody likes JD Vance except
JD Vance
except maybe, Erica Kirk, maybe. She seemed like she might like him a little bit.
Long ago, and oh so far away.
You know how they say white people can't dance because guilty feet have got no rhythm.
They are hugged up on that stage. Now, somebody
profound Chan. Don't nobody really want him, but he is what they need right now to save the Democratic Party, because they are just much trouble as whatever else is going on the other side.
And I wasn't convinced about him a year ago, but once he got on the trolling Trump mojo.
Shut up, Chan. He said if you're going to be singing a song, it should be one by Bobby Womack, considering the circumstances. You sing it so loud your phone microphone cut out. Is that me?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta back up.
Like that must be background noise. But,
we got a thing going on.
Now, pursuant to that, I would like to introduce a resident expert going on here. Please understand that she was unable to be live on the show with us. Also, she doesn't know we're doing this, but I just felt like I wanted to share this video because when I saw this, when I tell y'all, I laughed loud and long at this. Y'all check this out.
Yeah. See. I studied healthonomics. You might want to call me a healthorologist because I know healthoristical behavior when I see it. And that right there, oh baby, that right there. See, let me tell you, let me show you. Anytime a woman take her hand and drive it up the back of a man's neck into his hairline sequence, and when her hands go up and take a butterfly effect inside his hairlines, it's something going on in that. Oh, it's way deeper. We see just surface stuff. I see the intimacy of it all. Oh, yes, it's something way deeper than what we see. And what we see is of obviousness that it's more than just we working on the same side. No, you working more than just the same side. You ain't like this, baby. You like this. And damn time a heifer run her hands up in Herman's head like that. She can go ahead and tell her family to make funeral arrangements. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Heiferology, heiferistic.
Heiferology with heiferistic tendencies. When he was asked that question, and he said he hoped his wife would come to understand and accept Christianity. It was within a day of him hugging up on the heifer.
What's so hypocritical about it is, as a Christian, you promised, for rich or poor, or sickness and in health, to the death do you part, to that woman, to that Hindu woman.
Correct.
And now you're like, well, I wish she was different. No, bro. You shackled for life. We don't do divorce. Y'all trying to take away a woman's right to a no-fault divorce. So I'm gonna need you to stay right where you at and commit adultery and go to hell.
Listen. So it's a very dicey situation. That just made me think of Secret Lovers. It's a fragile situation.
Or they want to revert the opposite of M2 made. You, me, and she. What we gonna do,
baby?
I don't want to let you go, but the sofa said no.
You know what I'm saying? For flipping the script and doing polyandry as opposed to polygamy on that one in the 80s.
You boo Bob be coming with it. Yes,
but
you
that's
got
why I said, Usha, you in danger, girl.
You in danger, girl. And she looked like it too. She looks 30 years older than she did last year.
What would be more tragic than JD losing his wife and connecting with Erica with them two blonde children?
And but then what would happen to her kids? Because they can't come.
No, they would go with her people, with Usha's parents.
Yeah. And they would probably all leave
and be raised as Hindus.
And probably live somewhere far away.
Yeah. Oh no, they would dip out. No.
Yep.
We didn't know this was going to turn into our own version of Hamilton. We've been dropping more songs than we have in a long time.
Right. They could do a remix of Say No to This.
So one of the things that came up in the conversation about the various wins, and Virginia was the first major win that was announced of the evening, I think, because the newly elected and first female governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia was running against a melanated woman. I hesitate to call her black. That's me being a little judgmental.
Well, black comes in all flavors and sizes. Trader is a flavor.
There you go. And one of the people that I loved, I liked the comment on Facebook today. How come this Jamaican immigrant is black, but Kamala wasn't? So she obviously didn't win. And, Trump talking about, Trump wasn't on the ballot, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't really,
I see what you did there.
Look at you, Chan. That was epic. But Trump did not put her on layaway or even ask somebody to hold it under the counter, because he said he did endorse Chitterelli, who also lost, but he didn't support Earl Sears when she asked for it. And he pointed out in an interview saying that she didn't really have my support, my big support. My endorsement means a lot to me. And to quote Earl Sears from her debate against Spanberger, that's not discrimination. She begged that man. She said she'd be happy for his endorsement. And despite what people say, Virginia is a purple state. Spanberger replaced a GOP governor, Governor Youngkin, who was termed out. So it's not like, Virginia is just so blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's near DC, and the parts nearer to DC are more blue
Solid
than
blue.
certain other parts
Mm-hmm.
because of the colleges, because of the government employees. But a lot of those government employees are, well, first of all, if you're a government employee and you live in Virginia, you ain't getting paid right now.
Right.
If you still have your job because of the purge. So there are plenty of reasons to vote against Trump and everything that is Trump.
Also, look at what Gretchen Whitmer is doing for her state as a Democratic governor. There might be people looking over there saying, you know what, we need a Democratic governor to save us too.
It's a very interesting set of circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Newsom, and he put this together quick. And the thing that is most galling about Trump's response to this is illegal and all this other sort of stuff. What Greg Abbott did was outside the bounds.
Mm-hmm.
At least Newsom took it to a vote. If Newsom if Prop 50 had faltered and it had lost,
Mm-hmm.
there wouldn't be any California redistricting.
No.
But it didn't lose.
No. And he asked the people,
walk.
unlike Texas.
They didn't ask. Missouri didn't ask. All of these places.
And all of them are being challenged and sued over it too.
And so, we got Westmore in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Maryland doesn't have that many seats to give, but he thinks he might be able to squeeze one seat out, and every seat counts.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, the GOP did this thinking that every seat that they created was an automatic win for them.
Yeah,
but
that's not true either.
That's not true with the way things are going. People have long memories with their stomachs.
Yes.
And you deprive
you know how
child.
serious it is what you just said? Do you know the reason that we still have a tendency to want to clean our plate? From the Great Depression.
Yep.
That is a generational trauma. We do have long memories with our stomach. We remember who and where and what about the last time we were hungry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about men in the military with guns whose wives or whose husbands or
Mm-hmm.
whomever is calling them saying, I don't know what we're going to do. These men have guns.
Texas will always Texas, yes. I'm from there, so yes.
Yeah, well, I mean.
If you got to live there, live in Houston. I'm just saying.
Right. Maybe Austin.
No.
No. Joyce says no on Austin.
Austin is full of tech bros and performative allies. No.
Ooh, okay.
I said it. I got friends there, and I say it.
Another thing that came out, all of the Democratic Supreme Court holders from
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania held their seats. In Pennsylvania, another
Mm-hmm.
swing state, Trump won it.
Right. The same one, all of these states that he miraculously won during that 2024 election that seemed so off then, people are now without, matter of fact, was it Virginia that said they weren't going to use those machines that we suspect were tampered with? One of the states was like, yeah, we're not using that Starlink nonsense.
And now a GOP consortium has purchased the voting machines that won the lawsuit against Fox. So that's now dangerous.
Yeah, can't beat them, join them, take them over. Mm-hmm.
Well, and in yet
that's
another
how cancer
blow,
spreads. It gets inside and then spreads from the inside out.
And I will tell you, this is one thing I like about California. So the way California, they have these special ballots. So they're like a magnetic or some sort of e-ink paper. And you go in and they've got the iPads and you sign, you make sure. What does that say? Oh, sorrow's prayers. Yes. So you go in and you sign the iPad. And so they verify you. They ask you questions. You don't need a voter ID. They ask you questions that you would know. They ask you when you were born and what your address is, and they look it up, and then you sign your signature on the iPad, so it's signed to your thing. They cancel your drop-off ballot, so if you're voting in person, they throw away your opportunity. If you mailed it in, it's now invalidated, whatever. And then you take this blank piece of paper, and you put it in a little machine where you vote. Now, usually you got a bunch of things to vote on, and so it takes a while. But on this thing, there was only one thing on the ballot. You press the thing, it says, "Are you sure?" and then you press yes, and then it goes in, it prints your vote, you verify that it's correct, that it is a yes on 50, and then you submit it, and it takes that paper and puts that paper into the box. So it's not a voting system where your votes are being tallied electronically. They're being collected electronically, but they are then physically put onto a piece of paper. And then you have your vote on the digital side that you can match against, and it's all QR coded and everything else. So they can literally go, how did Tom Cunningham or whatever. They can match it, and it's great. That's what I love. California, Texan, or whatever. I like the confidence of feeling that my vote is secure when I cast a ballot. And I like casting in person. I do drop off occasionally, but I do like going through the motions of doing it and having the people see me and giving me my little sticker and walking out and posting a thing. I like all of that rigmarole. And I can't imagine, feeling as I felt on Wednesday and today about what's going on in the country, I haven't felt as good about the midterms as I have felt in a long time, because this was direct evidence, and Trump can try to spin it all he wants. The people who are around him who know that there's trouble are realizing that the trouble is beyond.
Right, because this wasn't just a couple of House representative seats that may have flipped at or local elections. We're talking governors.
Yep.
We're talking massive shifts to the left. Whether you were centrist and go left and go radical, or right and come central, it's all been shifting that way. And you can lay this directly at Trump and his tariffs.
The tariffs, and they had on Fox and Friends, there's a small business owner who creates toys for developmentally challenged kids. So they might be on the spectrum, they might be Down syndrome kids, but what could be better than making toys for kids who have developmental problems? So last year, his import tariffs were $32,000. Okay. Because of Trump's tariffs now, because it was like 150%, it was some crazy amount, on top of, because they were escalating, and it was supposed to be like $325,000 this year.
So he had to shut it down.
Like, he can't do that.
No,
he can't support.
If his tariffs the year before were 32,000, that 300 something is probably all his profit.
All of his profit, and maybe more. So people are feeling it. And now, while we're on the topic of tariffs, SCOTUS seems awfully dubious on his ability to do this. And they haven't decided yet. They had oral arguments yesterday for 2 hours. It's pretty obvious that the three Democratic appointees are obviously going to go vote, as they always do. But Amy Coney Barrett also appears to be poised to vote with the other justices on the side. So it's all, Alito and Scalia are always, Alito and Thomas are always going to be on that side. And so you've got Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, and you've got Roberts. So if Roberts sides with the female justices, then the tariffs are gone. If Roberts sides, and Gorsuch and Kavanaugh go the way we expect them to, then the tariffs are going to stand. And one of the things that they're supposed to be thinking about and wondering about is, well, if we strike down the tariffs, what happens to all this money that has been collected? Because if the money has been collected, then it would have to be returned if the tariffs were invalidated, and then
they can get a ticket to the ball in the ballroom.
Well, so it's really, and even one of the plaintiffs, because there are some small business owners, it's not just the attorneys general. There are some legitimate people who have a stake in this who are being affected by the tariff policy. They were like, well, look, tariffs that have been paid, whatever, just no more tariffs. So if you're worried about the money that has been paid, then just no more tariffs. That would probably not be the case for a bunch of people. A bunch of people probably, no, give me my billions back.
I want money back.
Unless they sold that tariff liability to one of Trump's friends who bought it at like 20 cents on the dollar. And if the refunds come, they collect the refund. So yet another grift, yet another scam. This is how our nation is running right now. And
we got a stupid mafia running our country.
I mean, it's a bunch of Fredos.
Yeah.
That's my ideas. No, bro. Your idea is to paddle out to the middle of that lake.
Right.
And have Michael cry.
Right. Or, let's take these zombies out here and look at the flowers. Look at the flowers. Just turn and look. It's okay.
Just turn and look. Look at the flowers. Mm-hmm. And Bob, you're right. The No Kings protests are real, and those people vote. It has gone from 4 to 7 million.
I want to talk about this
next time. Yeah, go ahead.
These same people, the No Kings protesters, a lot of them did vote in the November election. Mm-hmm. Some of them didn't. Mm-hmm. And I just can't help but think that if some of them had, we wouldn't have needed a No Kings protest. Sure. Now, there are rumors and, some conspiracy theories, and, I'm inclined to believe some of it around the election being stolen. But there were other states. There were other opportunities.
Plenty.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
there were plenty of folks that decided to vote for Jill Stein's herpes ass, like just popping back up when you least expect it for no reason but to aggravate everybody. That's why I call it herpes. And then people who decided to abstain, people who were like, well, I just can't bring myself to vote. All of that was a problem. We kept telling folks there was a problem. And the response to you have to do this, democracy's on the line is, no, it's not. You're being so dramatic. You can't force me to vote. Okay. The stove is hot. I told you. This is why we had to let them find out on their own. This is why so many Black people were like, we sitting this out. We're not helping y'all with nothing, because you're going to have to learn to struggle, learn to be an activist, learn to fight for your own rights, because we are sick of you sitting on our efforts and not appreciating it. So go ahead, protest all you want and then go vote, which is what Obama had been telling y'all to do for years. Don't boo. Vote. Whoa. And you finally come around to it like, oh, we should get to the polls. You think so, motherfucker? You know how many times I have been door slammed in my face, told me to get off their lawn, et cetera, just by trying to register people to vote. Because that's what I do. And it is thankless. And it is exhausting. Just to have them then blow up my phone. We only have 24 hours to make this campaign deadline. No, you get no more of my money because you ain't done nothing with it.
Zip.
And ironically, without me paying anybody $1, they managed to have all of these Senate seats flip, which means all you had to do was your fucking job in the first place.
I saw a reel, and it was a brother, and he was sitting back in his chair, and he was saying, I keep hearing that
marinate on your choices. Yes,
there it is. That white folks are concerned that if Black people are in charge, that we would make them slaves. He said, listen, I don't like to make white people feel better or calm, but I just need to tell y'all this. We wouldn't want you as slaves. Y'all would be the worst slaves ever. You think anybody wants an entitled slave?
Right. Why would I need to show my slave how to clean the kitchen? Y'all don't even wash your rice. Can we start there? Or your meat. Why would I want you in my house as a slave? Well, even as a paid servant, I don't want you as a maid. Yeah, you're trying to give me the benefits of raw milk. Girl, if you don't get the hell up out of my house right now.
Killing whole families with raw milk.
Exactly.
Speaking of Obama talking about don't boo, vote, this is in keeping with the inevitable trend of everything being reduced into AI baby videos. This is baby Obama, the baby dent Obama talking to an audience. This is an exact split of the speech turned into baby version.
The point is, there is absolutely no evidence Republican policies have made life better for you, the people of Virginia. I mean, they've devoted enormous energy in trying to entrench themselves in power and punishing their enemies and enriching their friends and silencing their critics. They put on a big show of deporting people and targeting transgender folks. They never miss a chance to scapegoat minorities and DEI. For every problem under the sun. You got a flat tire? DEI. Huh. Wife mad at you? DEI. What they have not devoted energy to is helping you. They have not put forward serious proposals to lower housing costs or make groceries more affordable. They haven't improved our schools. They haven't made healthcare more accessible. They haven't shortened your commute or prepared young people for the future where AI might take their job. And all the nonsense we see on the news every day, the over-the-top rhetoric, the fabricated conspiracies, the weird videos of a U.S. president with a crown on his head flying a fighter jet and dumping poop on protesting citizens. All of that is designed to distract you from the fact that your situation has not gotten better.
Was that the Terminator robot across from the baby?
Yes, as a proxy for all AI. But the point is that I love the cutaways, because the genius about this guy, he didn't chop Obama's speech. He filled in the natural applause lines with cuts to people in the administration. And the baby Donald, I mean, it
Donald
captured
ain't never
his
looked
little,
that good.
if only.
Right.
And every other person, he had baby Elon, he had baby Homan, he had baby Hannity, he had all of these things, and it was just so pitch perfect. I really do appreciate the moment that we're having, because after being so bound up, and I really wish SCOTUS, and it's on Roberts. I don't believe in his heart that Roberts is behind this whole thought of the unitary executive. I think he thought there was like, well, ideologically, I'm a conservative, and so if this will help me get, through some conservative stuff. But now it is so obvious that not only is Trump unbound, but the people who are pulling his strings are absolutely ruthless. Miller and Vaught. And it's just so crazy that Vaught is the same.
There have been a lot of political violence attempts.
Absolutely.
Since they've come to power.
Absolutely. It used to be relatively rare.
Right. Now you're saying which one?
Right.
The one from Thursday? No, the one from Tuesday last week. What's going on? They're almost as common as school shootings.
It really says something about our country. Another meme I saw was, if I have to go to the hospital, get me an Uber, because ain't no way I'm paying $5,000 just to ride on the WeWo machine. So, and it's like, I mean, you can get an Uber Black.
I mean, why you BSing? The people do that. Pregnant women will
absolutely
catch an Uber to the hospital, because what you're not going to do is get an ambulance, because it's not covered by insurance, because insurance hates women along with everything else in the government. And so, a first sign of a cramp anywhere in the last trimester, I'm gonna just catch an Uber to the hospital.
Yep.
It comes just as quick as the ambulance.
Okay. Been reporting them texts as spam.
She's talking about those people asking me for money on the phone. Yeah.
Lord, yes.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I like the new iOS for the iPhone, because it allows me to separate all of them out, swipe them all at once, and then delete and report as spam all at once.
A feature that I've been enjoying on my iPhone is iPhone memory, mirroring on the Mac, because when my iPhone is sitting near my computer and I turn on Bluetooth, I can actually have a virtual copy of my iPhone and have access to all the apps on my phone played through my computer.
Cool.
which is pretty darn cool. But not as cool as the tremendous wave of absolutely incredible voter turnout and support for progressive initiatives that I really do feel are turning the tide. There's no way that Mike Johnson is going to lose his seat, but it's getting increasingly clear that he is going to lose the speakership. And that's enough, because nobody knew who Mike Johnson was before he was elevated to speaker, and ain't nobody going to remember him after.
Nope.
Nancy Pelosi was a 2-time Speaker of the House, which is a feat nobody else has been able to do. And one thing she did was she was absolutely rock solid on discipline. Nobody is loyal to Mike Johnson. People are loyal to Trump, and they look at Mike Johnson as Trump's Metatron. And so they'll listen to Mike Johnson because they know, if you're not Catholic, that's kind of a deep cut. But
you know what's messed up? When you said Metatron, I was like, did he mean Starscream?
Yeah, if only Mike Johnson were as entertaining as that fully scaled Megatron that they have at Universal Studios, where he talks trash. He's like the Wendy's of talking automatons. Yeah, I don't want to drift too far afield. The point is that Donald Trump is the animating life force of the entire GOP, except for the people who had an animating life force of Lee Atwater hate before him. And so Mitch McConnell, who's finally stepping down, he's like, no, I can't. I'm done. My hand is almost gone away, just like his. And so I need to finally just let it go. And so this is where we are as a country, where a portion of the electorate, I'm not even going to say half the country that voted. Because there's still 110.
Which is roughly 20% of the country,
Correct.
That thinks like that is in that camp when you say half a half.
Yeah. So you got to figure there are more people who are eligible to vote who did not than who voted on either side of the question. So whoever divides that big 100+ million part of the pie is the one that's going to get it. And Democratic Socialists, if you get your stuff together,
you got a shot.
You can get some pieces of that pie. And it's not just Bernie anymore.
It's a really good time.
The biggest city in the country.
It's a really good time to rebrand socialism as humanitarianism.
Right.
Because people don't see folks that they don't like, don't know, or don't recognize as human. That's just over there. But what about me? And so when you rebrand, socialism includes all the people I don't like. Humanitarianism is for humans. And that could be the rebranding that they need, in addition to being the party of the people, Labor Party, et cetera. I've been talking about that for a year now.
Well, I mean, because the Labor Party in Britain is actually the Conservative Party, which is so crazy. But
so the thing about that is any party can become conservative if they just refuse to change. Correct. If you refuse to change, then in 30 years, you will be conservative.
Right. And people talk about democratic socialism because they don't understand it. Look at Denmark, y'all. Y'all like Legos? Y'all like 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven might as well be like Kroger. Everything in Denmark is 7-Eleven. And they got Legos. What's not to like about Legos? You build the Legos yourself right now. What's the problem? Denmark's great.
A lot of European countries have socialized healthcare because they don't have racism. They may be racist towards African nations, et cetera. But when I'm talking about part of the population, most of them are so homogenous that it doesn't occur to them to try to leave a portion of the population out. But here, specifically in the United States, there's so many others that the block of white voters is always like, well, I don't want them to have it. And they would rather die with us than live with us. Right? Long as we die first. If we can go out a second before they do, they die happy. They just want to see us die. Instead of recognizing that if we are doing well, if the least among us are doing well, then we are all doing well. Rising tide lifts all boats, all that sort of thing. Even down to the point of, you know what, you could just plant a couple of apple trees in a public park and feed so many homeless people. It doesn't take much. Bring them some bread every now and then for carbs, and boom.
And that is a philosophy in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Because they have breadfruit trees and everything. If it's a tree and it's growing, then somebody can pick it.
The United States specifically plants male trees, hence all the pollen, because they ski and got nowhere to go. There are some trees that will actually convert themselves into, there are trans trees. There are some trees that will actually convert themselves into being female because there are no females around, and all that pollen's got to go somewhere. But if they just planted a few male and female apple trees, maybe orange tree, you know, you can even put some, I don't know, put some bell peppers out or something, but just make them, let them be wild. Let it be a conservative, and let people just go in there and get a freaking apple. Matter of fact, in my neighborhood, there's a wild blackberry tree that grows. And there's a pretty respectable level of homelessness in my neighborhood. But when you don't see not nary blackberry hit the ground, and they all know where it is, and they all go and get you some fucking fruit, right?
Yeah, we have a fig tree in our development over here. And so when you said if they could die a second after we did, the first thing that popped into my head was, I told you, Tyrone.
That's exactly what it would look like.
Mary. Ooh, well, you know, do you have anything else to talk? You know what, Bob? That's a good question. The answer is ask Mike Johnson, because I don't know.
Right.
This is all on him at this point. And he doesn't feel any pressure as of right now. Now
he has
Trump
been threatened.
Pressure.
He has been threatened to keep from seating that one woman and keep them from being able to vote to release these files. It must be really bad. I'm telling you. You know what? It could be something completely different from what we're thinking. It could be something. What if he's with a boy?
Oh, that I can't believe.
I don't believe it either.
I think that's a bridge. He is too much of a misogynist, to ever do anything that he perceived as remotely gay.
Maybe not.
Well, pedophilia is not necessarily tied. Yeah, maybe.
Homosexual. Yeah.
I don't know. It don't.
That's a stretch. I don't believe it either. But I'm just trying to figure out what could be so bad that they would jump through all of these hoops to keep from coming out.
I think it's just enough that there's nobody mentioned in the files more than him. I think that's enough. But if there is a picture of him and some girls, or if he ever got even a piece of a massage in between being married to whatever, I don't know.
You know, Chan, you got a point. The Democratic Party is a party of order, corporate order. You know, fascism is too chaotic, and the establishment party of the Democrats, they don't like Zoran. They don't like AOC. They didn't like the Squad. They don't like anything, because they are also old white people who just would rather keep the peace. And keeping the peace means keeping it quiet. You know, I shared this with a group that I was working with. Was, you know, that I was like, you know, when you think about keeping the peace, you're telling people, you know, don't raise your voice, don't rock, keep your head down, just do your work, don't rock the boat. But the problem is, if I don't rock the boat, how am I supposed to get in it?
Well,
right. You telling me to leave myself floundering so you can maintain untroubled waters. I'm knocking this boat over. We gonna all be out here then. Yep.
I'm gonna be Jaws up in this bit.
Yup. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Come on, twin. Well,
maybe remember the rumors about some girl peeing on him from Russian blah 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 blah. That could be in there. I mean, who knows?
I think
it's a brag file of him abusing young girls. That's what I think. That there are pictures or potentially video of him, and the look on the girl's face is clearly one of desperation and anguish, and trapped. And I think that there's something like that out there of him actively, even in a still frame, it shows that he's abusing this girl.
There is a picture of a check purporting, it's a prop check, it's a big stage check, but it's a picture that purporting the sale of a woman to Epstein. And all the lying little press secretary could say is, well, it's clearly not his signature. It's a fake check. What are we doing?
What are we even doing right now? Yeah.
Nobody said it was a real check. It's a prop.
But I don't even play like that. You know how people talk about when you get
right.
drunk, you start saying things that you normally think. I don't say things that I don't normally think when I'm drunk, and I don't make jokes about things that have not crossed my mind. It wouldn't cross my mind to write you a fake check to buy somebody, because I've never tried to buy somebody. Exactly. But if I had, and didn't he talk about Epstein taking some of his employees from Mar-a-Lago at some point? Yeah. All of that just screams human trafficking.
That was supposedly why their relationship came to an end, except that the relationship didn't come to an end at that point. It didn't really come to an end until he snaked that house that Epstein wanted up from under him and threatened to tell. That's when things really broke down. And even then, they didn't break down so much that, supposedly that was when Trump maybe went and said, you might want to look into
stop for the feds. Yeah.
Never a confidential, and they tried to momentarily paint it like he was an informant. He was really trying to stop.
Trump can't be a confidential informant, because if he was, he would have put that in his platform when he was running for president. Absolutely. I was a confidential informant against Epstein. Release the files. Yeah, no,
he didn't want to. He didn't want to ever release the files. He just got caught up. He knew he couldn't say, or he knew Fox would edit his walk back. In the interview, but no, it's all horrible. It's all, but it appears that the winds are blowing in the right direction, and so I don't know what it's going to take to get Grijalva put in, but if the shutdown ends, he won't have any excuse, and then the screws will really be turned. So as much as he's out here protesting, he doesn't want the government open.
No.
I think it might even pass the Senate, even if if it passes the Senate and he goes and he tries to veto it.
Yeah.
I think he may be able. Well, I don't know if he'll get 2/3 in the House. That would be tough. But
if he vetoes it, that's just as damning.
It is.
So
and he will lose support.
He will lose support, because again,
right now it's not his fault technically.
There are brainwashed people who have not heard differing stories. They're in their own little filter bubble, and they do believe that he is a good, God-fearing man and that he supports all the Christian things that they support. Overwhelming evidence to the contrary will break them.
Yeah. It will at least pop the epistemic bubble.
Yeah.
You can't unpop a bubble like that.
No, you cannot.
You're gone. You're off. And even if it doesn't, you don't even have to vote for a Democrat. You just stay home. And whatever margin he may or may not have actually won, if those people stay home, it's done. It's a wrap.
All we need is for 10% of his folks to stay home. 10%.
And I need.
But you know what we talk about? Like he's about to be on the ballot for 2028. He don't have. No, he's done. He's done.
Well,
he's done.
Oh, I get it. But
he's going to try to run. He's already got the merch made. He plans to run in 2020.
Oh no, there are forces. Steve Bannon has promised it, and they're trying to say, oh, they'll put a puppet up as president, and JD will step aside. First of all, good luck with that. If
JD is the Heritage Foundation's boy.
JD isn't dropping the presidency for you for nothing. Believe the hype if you want to. If he wins the presidency, Trump is definitely not going to be president. Don't get it confused. And I am saying this specifically to make it that much more difficult for JD.
Bondi, you're right. Bondi could refuse to release it and just go to jail. I don't know that I would go to jail for him, but she might.
Bondi is not the only person who has a digital copy of them files. The files are digitized.
And if they are being forced to be released by the by
If
the
the
by
court says,
the
if the
courts and
court says they can be
and
released,
Congress, then whoever has them can release them because we have
whoever has a
demanded
copy,
that it be public record. Yeah.
there it is.
Where
So
is Anonymous in all of this? They could have been put that out.
I feel like uh Smith, I mean, you'd like to think that Merrick Garland had the wherewithal to do it, but I don't think he had the balls to do it. But
Mm.
I think that there is another copy, and I think they've been waiting for the right thing to happen because honestly, there's no real rush. He's not. I don't know that the House would impeach him, and I don't know that the Senate would convict him just behind the thing. So right now, it's kind of inuring to our benefit a little bit that the hesitancy is still out there and the uncertainty about what is in the files is still out there.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think they like making it a sticking point because it's a point of differentiation. The corporatist Dems are not pro pedophile. That's about all you can say right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
So it's a good thing to have in your back pocket until it has to not be in your back pocket.
Right.
And I
Then
think
once it's out, everybody loses a talking point once it's out.
well, exactly. And so I think they would love for the House resolution to pass, and then it goes to the Senate, and the Senate
Good point.
locks it down and filibuster.
If she goes to jail for refusing to release the files and he pardons her, I don't know if he could, but I guess he could. That would be a federal crime, right? And not a regional one.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be a federal. He would have the ability to pardon her.
I don't know if he would because he is crazy and petty. He might leave her in there just for fun.
Well, he might. I mean, the whole point is that if he pardons her, that doesn't benefit him. Everything for him is transactional. So if he gets something out of it, it's in his interest to do it. If he doesn't get anything out of it, it's not. Just like the $2 billionaire, the guy who spent $2 billion and laundering money for Hamas, it didn't matter. Just like Intuit and TurboTax giving him $1 million for the inauguration, and now he made it impossible to direct file for free through the IRS.
Wow. Anonymous is the real hackers, what old pickup ballers at Lifetime Fitness are to the NBA. Damn.
Okay, so where them real hackers at? Where them hacks at?
Right?
Well, shit, Russia probably had the goddamn Epstein files.
You know what? They might.
Get confused.
Did we talk about win some Sears yet?
Oh yeah. We didn't put up the tag of win some, lose some, which was the fun of the day. But yes, we talked about her. We showed her picture.
All right, well, that's all I have for the night. Just
all right.
Congrats to the Bluenami, the
congrats to us.
Yes.
Congrats to America.
Congrats to America for hanging in there for one more year, I guess, at least till 2026. We'll see how things go.
We're not out of the woods, but I'm certainly seeing some light creeping through some branches.
Right. It does feel it did feel effervescent, like it buoyed us up a little bit because I was definitely like, you know what, let me go ahead and try to figure out how to use this visa I still have for Ghana because they stupid, but I mean I still have it, by the way. But I think Anthony said it maybe 30 minutes ago. Yeah, and he said it again, congratulations, but don't rest.
I know that's right.
Right, we can't act like we won and everything is fine because got to keep our foot on the gas.
Nope. 10 million at the next No Kings.
Yeah.
Keep
10 million
your foot on the gas. I almost said neck, but I didn't want to invoke George Floyd. So keep your foot on the gas. Next week, y'all, we will be back talking about more stuff. Hopefully, SCOTUS will have struck down the tariffs. Hopefully, something else will have happened. Shout out to Diane Lane, who passed this week. Of Outsiders fame and so many other classic movies from my youth. Wasn't she in she was in that Tuscany movie, not Eat, Pray, Love. She was in anyway, Diane Lane.
Yes. God bless. Mhm.
God bless. And we will see you all next week. Thank you for helping us numbers creep up every single week. We love to see it. Invite somebody and subscribe. Hit that. Listen, my task for you all this week, hit the notification bell.
And see if you can beat Anthony in here.
See if you can beat Anthony. We love you, Anthony. But
Right.
let's see.
Let's get a little competition, real competition
Get a
going.
competition going. He says hugs to everybody. That's right, Anthony. You were just the nicest,
great
most
guy.
specialist person. But we want to see if somebody can snatch the crown just one time. Somebody come in just one time, please. Just one time. And with that, I
Like,
will
subscribe,
say,
and hit the bell. It's the only way you're gonna beat Anthony.
You got to hit the bell. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm anonymous.
And this is Steel Sharpens Steel. Good night, everybody.